so anyway, talk with you later, sweetie. Bye-bye.
For those of you that don't know, that's my dad's voice. I lost him on the 29th of December, 2022. My grief has taken a strange arc for me. I don't know how to explain what's going on with me. And I started out journaling to try to keep track of what's going on, how I'm feeling, how I'm healing. Not really sure. But I find myself in a odd position. I don't have a lease or a mortgage anywhere. And my original plan once I left Florida was to go to Montgomery with my little brother and sister and get an apartment, acquire some debt to furnish that apartment because I gave all my furniture to my son when I left Chicago. Wow. So I could go to Alabama, acquire debt to furnish an apartment, get a hobby or two, maybe find a boyfriend, take a trip or two. But then I started thinking about this lady I heard about decades ago. She retired from being a teacher and she took a cruise, a 6-month world cruise. And when she came back, she sold her house and spent the rest of her life taking cruises. She felt that it made sense for her to continue to take cruises because for what it cost her to take a cruise, that's what she spent maintaining her home every year. Which for her, I think it was right at 25 or 30 grand a year. And for that same 25 to 30 grand, she was able to take cruises that took her into different ports around the world. She was able to have all the food she wanted prepared for her. And she could periodically ask for something special because she was always on the cruises. She drank as much alcohol as she wanted. She loved dancing, and even if the other passengers wouldn't dance with her, the crew would. And as for doctors is concerned, she was relatively healthy. So any issues that she had, the ship's doctor could handle. And I thought, that's a pretty cool lifestyle, but I don't like cruises like that. And I thought about my dad. It was my dad's dream to go to every state in the Union and spend 2-3 months there exploring, seeing historical sites, monuments, meeting the people. And I thought, that would be pretty cool. I could see myself doing that. Get an RV, get a dog. Made sense. Sounds like something that could be done. And then I started thinking bigger. Why stop with the United States? Why even start with the United States? There's Africa, Asia, Central and South America, Europe, all the islands. It's a big world. So I started thinking, right now, because I don't have a lease and a mortgage, I could take this time to travel. And that $1,500 to $2,000 a month that I would be spending on housing, I could spend it on travel. Kind of makes sense to me. Seems like a pretty good idea. Sounds a little crazy, but still seems like a pretty good idea. No, Lois, it's not cigarettes. I'm not sure what I'm doing. It is my intention to do a lot of research. I've actually started some because I believe my first destination is going to be Ghana because my cousin lives there. I believe they're called cedi. The Ghanaian cedi, one Ghanaian cedi is worth 8 cents. That gives some pretty strong traveling power, I think. There are a lot of places in Africa, Asia, South and Central America that have that same type of situation going on. So this creates a situation where instead of me going there, dashing through after a week, 2, I could actually go to some of these places and hang out for 2-3 months. Get to know the people, see the sights, see the monuments, learn a little history, then move on to the next place. Do the same thing over and over. I don't know why I have the desire to do this, and I don't know why it makes sense to do it now, but that's where I am. And this is the beginning of my journey. Regarding my grief, I don't know. I feel like an empty vessel. I have never felt so lost in my life. But that's okay. One of the reasons that I decided I wanted to share this journey is because I was praying. Yes, dear, I was talking to my invisible friend. I was praying. And in my prayer, I asked God to go with me on this journey. I said, God, I don't know where I'm going on this journey, but wherever it is, please go with me. And I very clearly heard, yes, I'm hearing things now. I'm delusional. I very clearly heard, I'm not going with you, you're coming with me. So I'm going with God. I look at what I'm doing as being something that has been ordained by God. Either that or I'm losing my mind. Either way, this is going to be the journey. I'll keep you guys posted on how I'm doing, the research that I've come up with, different places that I plan on going, and when I actually set off on this journey, I'll take you with me. I'll show you the places that I stay, the places that I go, and when allowed, the people that I meet. I don't know where this journey is going to lead me. I don't know what I expect to find. I don't really have any expectations. But I do have places in the world that I would like to see. And while I am not rich, I've got a modest pension that, absent of housing, might allow me to do what I want to do. I still have a lot of research to do. For example, I know that I could find a hotel in Ghana between $323 to $800 in the affordable range. I'm not talking about the high-class 5-star places. I may not be able to afford all of those, but I can afford a 3 or a 4-star. Cool. But they're starting at $323 up to $800, and that would be for 30 days, 29 nights. That's not bad. That's something that I could do. And I would be able to do it comfortably without sweating at anything. I think a lot of my travel will be with tour groups because I'm traveling alone. I don't have a lot going on in here these days. It's kind of empty. And here. But I guess that's just how it is when you're grieving. I miss my dad a lot. And I talk to him. And no, he doesn't really talk back. And that's okay. He should be resting. Don't have time for the foolishness down here. And that's okay. I may or may not share some of the things that I was journaling. I don't know. I'll keep you posted on the progress that I make. There are a lot of things that I do have to do. I know I've got to check with the military to see if there are any restrictions on countries that I can go to because of the security clearance that I had when I was in the military. I was in the Air Force, for those of you that don't know. I hadn't even thought about it, but I was talking to another veteran, and he mentioned that may be an issue for me. So I'll have to check on that. I also need to check on vaccines. I've got to get a new passport because my passport expired several years ago, and I've been slow at getting it renewed. What else? Of course, I've got to see what the threat numbers are for the different countries that I want to go to as I get ready to go into them. I need to also try to strategize around air bases that are overseas, because I am a veteran and I get my medical care through the VA. And I do have some health issues, so if I have a problem, I want to make sure that I've got some place that I'll be able to go to, so I'll also have to check on that. I'll have to check on vaccines, visas, a lot of work and research to do. But I got a lot of time. I'm not looking at this as being something that I'm going to do right away. I'm in the planning stages, still trying to figure things out, trying to decide what I will and won't do, how I can and cannot do things, which things are going to benefit me most in doing this, and paramount over all, making sure that I'm safe while I'm doing it. I guess that's about it for today. I don't know how often I'll post or how often I'll be able to sit down in front of a camera and come up with something that I think you might even be halfway interested in hearing. But this is where I am right now. This is what I'm planning to do. And who knows? I might be losing what's left of my mind, and this may be just something I'm talking about. We'll see. Later, y'all.